I sentence the defendant to a fixed term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole.
It's Kyle, Bryan, and Sarah on Mix 101.5. Just a heads up for families and parents driving with kids in the backseat. Some adult content coming your way the next few minutes because we do want to talk about the biggest headline of the day, and that is Bryan Kohberger sentenced to 4 consecutive life terms without parole. The Idaho moment for these families got to happen yesterday in court. They finally got to face this guy. Yesterday, of course, these Idaho murders took place 3 years ago. So many datelines and 48 hours and 60-minute stories.
It doesn't even seem like 3 years ago because it's been so in the news.
It's been talked about so much over the last 3 years. But as we were watching the courtroom yesterday, you might have missed this. The families finally got to speak. They got to have their moment. They got to have their courage and face this guy that did the things that he did to their kids. Here's part of it for those who missed it.
You're a joke. A complete joke. Today we are here to prove to the world that you picked the wrong families. The world's watching because of the kids, not because of you. Nobody cares about you. You're not worth the time, the effort to be remembered.
The truth is, you're as dumb as they come.
Real quick, this is one of the sisters of those slain.
Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty. I see through you. You want the truth? Here's the one you'll hate the most. If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your ass.
You are gonna suffer, man. I'm shaking because I want to reach out to you, but I hope you feel my energy, okay? Go to hell.
Mm-hmm. Hear that.
That is, I mean, the fact that those are, the clips you played are near the end of their witness statements or victim statements, rather. When they first start talking, you can hear how nervous they are and how it's just like this. The emotion is just so overwhelming for so many of them.
Can you even imagine all of the emotions they've had to process? The thoughts, what they've told themselves they would say to him if they were in the room with him.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, He's
right
your
there.
moment.
It had to be surreal.
I had to feel like an out-of-body experience. And I'm so glad that they got to do that, to be able to take control and tell this exactly what he did and how he is a meaningless, pathetic piece of crap.
Yeah, all that is true. I do, though, wish that there was a trial because it would make, the chance of finding out why. Because that's
he doesn't have to answer for anything.
Yeah, he doesn't have to say why he did it, why he chose that house, why he chose those people. Because he didn't even live in the same town. Yeah, he taught as a TA at their school, but he didn't even live in the same town as them. And like he went by their house months and months, and like he stalked them, and he was like he was like a shark in the water.
I had that same thought.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. You're right.
Yeah, and it's the fact that we don't get to, and I know it's really hard for the families to have to go through that again, but I just wish that they had their day in court to be able, because I'm sure it would have made them uncomfortable, to go through all the things and see what the reality in the light of day. But yes, I'm glad they had their moment to face him, and I'm proud of them. That's some severe bravery right there.
Yeah, I keep thinking, and I'm with you there. I wish we knew why. I wish the family had more to, console them.
Some closure. They just want some closure.
But this is the silver lining on the opposite end. I'm glad he didn't kill himself, because at least now people got to say what they wanted to say to him, thus giving a little more closure that wouldn't have been there had he taken the ultimate coward's way out.
Something that I was reading about, and this is what Kaylee's dad had mentioned a few different times, and he hates the fact that there's this idea that he feels could happen, and that is for the guy who did this. I don't even want to say his name, but the guy who did this, he could write a book about it in prison and actually get paid for this, which is an insane thing to think about.
Yeah, many others have.
And this dad's like, no, I don't want him to be able to tell the story in his own way.
Which is
and
why he did, yes, that's
and
a
why
good
he did
point.
this. And then yesterday, if like the video of him, and it's not surprising considering what he did and how he's been able to just sit in the courtroom all these months. But yesterday, his eyes were just so empty.
Chilling.
These families, they spoke with so much emotion, and it was nothing. He just sat there, and when the judge asked him, would you like to say anything to anything that you've heard? And he goes, I respectfully decline. And that's you're like, that's the first time we've ever heard this guy, and that's what he had, and that's the only thing he
Howard.
said to any of this.
Well, and also when you're watching him, take these statements in, he stares the women who speak dead in the eye. But when a man comes up, he gets fidgety. It's subtle, but you can see it. He gets fidgety and he doesn't keep eye contact the same way.
What do you
and
think
I think
that
that's
means?
very telling. I mean,
What do you think it
I think
says?
that he enjoys watching the women be upset, is what I think.
God, I hope
one of
that
the-
in prison there's a bell, like when you get good service at Arby's. Like, I hope he walks into prison and someone says, fresh meat! Ding, 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 ding,
Something.
ding.
well, I don't know
People
what
like
his
that just don't deserve
There's that code where
anything in
they
life.
take people who, there's a code in prison, from what I've heard, that people who injure and harm women and children don't get treated very well.
And then also the
Good.
unfortunately the other side of this too, for people that are so high profile like him, will he be in the population? There's something else I wanted to add that I thought was so powerful. That was
Dude doesn't deserve any special
no, he
treatment.
No,
he
put him
doesn't.
in there.
Absolutely not.
Throw
so
him to the
here's,
wolves.
I want to end it with this. This is one of the mothers saying what she had to say to this guy. By the way, he's sitting 8 feet in front of the family members.
How she didn't climb across that table, I don't even
and
know how.
and the sister just so amazing. She was able to have
she
that strength
wiped the floor with that
with
guy.
that guy. But this is the mom looking directly at him. But by the time she gets towards the end of it, she wanted to say something. Her daughter, the other sister, wanted to say but didn't stand up yesterday. Here's that moment.
You will be forgotten, discarded, used, and erased. You will always be remembered as a loser, an absolute failure. And when those prison doors slam shut behind you, I hope that sound echoes in your heart for the rest of your meaningless days. I'm confident that the men in prison will have their way with you in more ways than one. You will finally get what you wanted, physical touch. Just probably not how you were expecting it.
Yes, girl.
She also included an additional message from one of Kaylee's sisters.
Quick message from our youngest daughter. Aubrey wanted to say, you may have received A's in high school and college, but you're going to be getting big D's in prison.
30-year-old Kohberger, who will complete
I'm like, oh my God, she actually said that in the courtroom yesterday.
Well, I mean, I'm sure she wanted to represent every member of her family, and
Absolutely,
only
she
one
did.
of them could speak. I mean, and you know what? She's right.
I'm glad the families finally got to have their moment. It was just really profound to watch the strength that they had to face the guy that did that to their beloved family members.
Sending
it's Kyle
big love
Bryan
their way.
and Sarah on Mix.